Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Gainesville, often shortened to UUFG. My name is Sheila Bishop, and I will be your worship associate this morning. I'm a mid-sized, middle-aged white person with brown hair with lots of highlights. I am wearing a black shirt that says NaNoWriMo winner. Has anyone heard of NaNoWriMo? National Novel Writing Month. I won several times. Thank you very much. I'm wearing a skirt with little weird, freaky monkeys because today we're going to be monkeying around. You can use she, her pronouns. We are grateful you are here, whether you are sitting in the sanctuary, prepping in the kitchen, ushering, monitoring the foyer, running the AV, or playing on the playground. We are grateful for all the small and big ways you participate in and serve our community. We are grateful if you are joining us online from our sibling church in Valdosta, Georgia, or from Stark, or Palatka, or the Nature Coast, or elsewhere. However you worship with us, thank you. As we gather here today, we honor the Timucua, Seminole, and all other Native peoples who lived on and cared for this land long before us. After the service, we invite you to stay for coffee hour. Drinks and refreshment and conversation will be shared in the Phillips Social Hall. If you're a visitor, please feel free to stop by our welcome table, which has a green tablecloth. Our welcome team would love to tell you more about Unitarian Universalism and our congregation. Oh my gosh, I have a text. So I don't know if you know, but you now can receive text messages from UUFG. Beginning this Sunday, they're launching the new text messaging option to share brief reminders and things like the Chalice Connection, social justice events, book groups, committee meetings, etc., and so forth. Right now, you just need to give your permission. Robin, who's back there, is going to be in the social hall, and if you're interested in signing up, you can sign up. You can choose your level of opting in and opting out, and you can always say stop if you find that you're getting too many texts. So think about texting or signing up for texting. A couple of brief announcements. Today, if you'd like to sign birthday cards for ICE detainees, the social justice group will be doing that in Phillips Social Hall, and they are having, the Social Justice Circle is having their meeting this week at 12:30 in the choir room, correct? All right. Judith Kendall, if you will please come forward to light the chalice for us. As we light the chalice, let us reflect on the age-old question, how many UUs does it take to light a chalice? Does someone have a... Oh, it's here. This is perfect. It takes 301, 7 to sit on the governing board, which asks the Leadership Development Committee to recommend a chair and a member of the Facilities Committee, 5 to sit on the Leadership Development Committee, which decides on who to recommend for the Facilities Committee, 8 to sit on the Facilities Committee, which appoints the Chalice Lighting Committee, 4 to sit on the Chalice Lighting Committee, which chooses who will light the chalice. 3 of those 4 then give their own opinion of the best methods to use, while 1 actually does the lighting. After completion, it takes 100 individuals to complain about the method of lighting the chalice, another 177 to debate the ecological impact of using the flaming chalice at all, and at least 1 to insist that back in her day, an electric candle was quite enough.
Well, we did this last year, and I thought we ought to do it again. So if you weren't able to read the slides at the beginning, I'll put them in the social hall so you can have a chance. But let me just say good morning. I'm Tom Mareci. I'm a 76-year-old descendant of English, German, and Italian immigrants. I'm wearing a blue shirt and khaki trousers. When I first attended our services while the fellowship was located on 43rd Street, I enjoyed the communion service where candy corn or toast and jam was served. But I particularly was enthralled by the annual April joke service that was presented by our former minister, Jack Donovan, who delivered a sermon which was filled with UU jokes. Following Reverend Donovan's lead, our service today will be a little different than usual, so I hope you enjoy it. If anything we say today offends you, please accept my sincere apology in advance. I think we need to reflect on our values in a way that allows us to see each other more clearly. We take our inspiration from the comedian George Carlin, who was an American stand-up comedian, social critic, actor, and author. Carlin is regarded as one of the most important and influential comedians of all times. He was known for his dark comedy and reflections on politics, the English language, psychology, religion, and taboo subject matter. Carlin hosted the first episode of Saturday Night Live in 1975. He often commented on political issues and satired American culture. His 7 dirty words routine was central to the 1978 United States Supreme Court case FCC versus Pacifica Foundation, in which a 5-4 decision affirmed the government's power to censor indecent material on public airways. Carlin was posthumously awarded the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor in 2008. So in the spirit of George Carlin's humor, we present today's service. Because if you can laugh at yourself, you will be constantly amused. Oh, by the way, I need to inform the congregation that the Apathy Committee has a vacancy for a chair position.
Please rise in body and spirit as you are willing and able to joyfully sing hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Marilyn, are you ready to rumble? Oh, rummage, right? All right.
You may remember this from a previous year. Good morning, I'm Harry Mangle. Oh, wait. I'm standing in for Harry Mangle because poor Harry Mangle has a cold and had to stay home. He is the chair of this year's rummage sale. 3 weeks to go. This is his announcement, by the way. 3 weeks to go. Yes, 3 weeks until the fun and only fundraiser for this fellowship year. Now here's the ask. Our co-chairs, Elizabeth Stewart and me, and I and Harry, need your help in these ways. 1, by donating unwanted but usable condition items that are cluttering up your houses, apartments, garages, and yards. One thing Harry didn't mention is we do not want what's cluttering up your closet. No clothing, please. 2, by helping before the sale, retrieving items from folks who can't bring them to the fellowship on our 2 drop-off days, which are the Thursday and Friday prior to the sale. If you can pick up larger things that people can't get here themselves, that would be helpful. Let's see. Oh, this is not 3. This is 2B. Set up the sale Thursday and Friday, or 3, sell items on Saturday, May 2nd. The sale will be going from 8 a.m. till 1, but we're going to be here before 8 a.m., those of us who are working. Or 4, you can help after the sale by helping us clean up what's left over. And most of that will be done on the Tuesday after the sale because the thrift stores are not open on Mondays. Please reach out to Marilyn, Elizabeth, or Harry to let us know how you will be involved.
I did actually put his script in and changed all the names to Marilyn and Harry reversed, but it was more entertaining for her to read it the other way, which fits with today's. Each week we invite you to write in the Book of Joys and Sorrows, which is found at the front of the sanctuary before the service starts. We believe that a joy shared is multiplied and a concern shared is divided. I cannot talk today. One of our joys is visitors. You are welcome to raise your hand or stand up if you want, but you also don't have to. So we'd like to welcome Lisa Fang, Pete Garfinkel, and Karen Garrett. Thank you for being here. So Destin Rushing has two joys. The first one is that I am overjoyed to share that I completed the first chapter of my dissertation last night and am 50% of the way through chapters 2 and 3. I'm really overjoyed to share that the tech team has solved the problems with the headset and mics going forward. Thank you to Aaron and Robin for joining me troubleshooting on Saturday, April 4th. This one's from me. I had 2 interviews last week for a job, and I will have a third 2-hour one this coming Friday for the same job, so please keep your fingers crossed for me. All right. Jonathan Carone writes, please don't lose heart or hope. Things will hopefully get better on this amazing planet. I don't see a name, but I missed a credit card payment for the first time and had my application for a consolidation loan rejected. And I also owe my scary grandpa money. So needless to say, I am struggling. Phil Denton says, Sunday brunch at I Love Cafe, all invited after social hour. And contact Phil for information. Shout out, this is from Jeff Stevens, shout out to UU Minister Nell Newton of the Wildflower Church in Austin, Texas, who won the NPR Puzzle Challenge this morning. Hearing a UU minister on the radio this morning was a pleasant surprise. And last but not least, Remy Chase says, my Math B finals were this week, and my school's team won the countywide competition. I'm so proud. It was so much work and practice. All right. We all carry joys and concerns and sorrows and all sorts of other emotions, and some we may not speak aloud, but hold in our hearts. For these unspoken joys and sorrows, we invite you to come forward and drop a stone in our communal water bowl. If you are in the sanctuary and are unable or do not want to come forward, we invite you, if you're comfortable, to ask someone next to you to drop a stone in the bowl for you. At the end, Pete Murray from the care team will drop stones for any joys and or sorrows held by folks who are watching us online. Let the water represent the love and support of this church community for all who are gathered.
My name is James Chase. I'm the Director of Lifespan Faith Formation here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Gainesville. I have already messed up. I'm not the Director of Lifespan Faith Formation. I am the Director of Lifespan Faith Development. Get it straight. For those who, for whatever reason, cannot see me in this moment, I am a white, medium-sized person with short, curly hair, glasses. I'm sorry. I'm really scrambled and a little bit anxious today because I wrote stand-up and I've never done that before. So we'll see how it goes. My nails are painted black and I'm wearing a bright, colorful pink and blue t-shirt with Kirby patterns and somewhat punk black jeans because this place does not have a dress code and nobody has been successful in stopping me yet. Thank you. That was nice. Some other things about me that you might not know from looking at me, but then again, you might know. I am a parent to 2 kids. That one would be a stretch. 2 of the kids that are here, to be clear. I am transgender and non-binary. I use they, them pronouns. I am bisexual, and I am polyamorous. I'm also diagnosed with CPTSD, and I am also an agent of extreme whimsy. Something that I thought when I wrote this that you wouldn't be able to tell is that I do struggle with stage fright and anxiety, but I also manage to be very funny sometimes. So here we are. If you add all of those things up together, what you might come to the conclusion is that I am a very indecisive person. All of that adds up to somebody who doesn't know how to pick a lane and stay in it. And, you know, I've made my peace with that. And honestly, nobody should be surprised that I ended up here. Ooh. Before we go any further, this moment for all ages is written for all ages, but it's also going to be a little trickier to access for our little people. So I'd like to bring our kids forward and invite them to start building with some blocks. We have in this bag some big foam blocks. And I'd like you guys to try your very best to build a tower. See if we can build a tower using all of these blocks. And while you do that work, I'm going to talk. There we go. When you show up at this place, if you look as confused and disoriented as I did, eventually somebody will point you towards the coffee hour and hand you an order of service and say, you might belong here. This is a joke service. We've already had some laughs, which is wonderful. Hopefully we will have many, many more. Some of you will laugh at a lot of these jokes. Some of you will not understand many of them, and that's okay too. It is part of the joy that some of these jokes will land and some will not. That is true for this moment for all ages too. Nope, I skipped a page. Wow, I am nailing it today. Okay, there we go. That's where it is. Okay, so some of you have laughed at me today, which is really, really good. And some of them are pity laughs, and I appreciate those too. I am not choosy. I will take whatever I can get. So keep that up, please. Thank you. So what makes a joke funny? I actually really love this idea. Jokes are when something is close enough to the truth, and then it surprises you. It's like when something is like, oh, that feels true, this feels true, this feels true, and then boom, like something that is surprising, which is why I like to lean on the joke, I'm pretty funny, because nobody says that. That's kind of weird for somebody to announce, and I am genuinely very funny because I have no filter. The announcement is the disruption. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I say it, you laugh, it's great. I hope you guys actually think this is funny, because otherwise, whoops. Here's the thing, you can make the same joke over and over again and it still lands, especially when it's pointing at something that is true that doesn't usually get talked about or said aloud, including, I would like a show of hands in this room. Kids, I need your attention for a second. Who in the last week has pooped? I have suspicions about some hands that I don't see raised, but concerns, really. But it's a true thing. We don't often talk about it, so it's surprising and it gets the laughs. Usually more laughs from the kids, but they're distracted. I cut myself off at the knees there. It's funny because it's true, and we don't usually say it. When it's dragged into the light, it surprises us. It's great. And now I want to lead with a question. Who here has ever believed something and then found out that it was not true? Kids, Who here has ever believed something and then found out it was not true? I see some hands, yeah? Mostly our bigger kids, isn't that interesting? Our little ones are still on their first believing, and that's pretty cool. We're actually going to keep our answers about what those things are in our head because I don't want parents finding me in the parking lot after service when we disclose things about certain gift-giving, holiday-related deities. We don't need to go any further. We're done there. So, you know what I mean. Something that you grow up super, super sure about, maybe something magical or something a grown-up tells you with confidence, and you're like, yes, absolutely, I believe that. For grown-ups, maybe it's a friend who tells you, or it's your whole community tells you this thing, and then something happens and you're like, oh no, that thing that I believed was actually wrong, and now the feelings that come out of that might be embarrassment, or shame, or anger, or betrayal, and those feelings suck, man. Like, we really don't like to feel those feelings. So we build a new strategy. What can I do to stop from ever believing anything ever again? You might see where I'm going with this, perhaps, our sharp-eyed people. I want to tell you a little bit about myself because I do like talking about myself. I have worked here for almost 5 years as staff, but before that I was a member here for a couple of years too. And when I started finding out about this place, I was like, there's no way that this place is real. I had never, ever heard of a place like a church that doesn't tell you what to believe. So I knew it was a trap. I was very confident about that. And I went and did some research. I went and read many books about what this place is, what it believes, what it demands of its people. And I couldn't find where the boot was going to fall on me. I couldn't find it, but I showed up prepared. And that's what I met at the door. We don't demand that you believe anything. This is the place where you can believe nothing. And I still knew it was a lie. I was very confident of that. So I was waiting for a really, really long time. And it wasn't until after they hired me to do this work that I really started believing it, because they hired me. The standards can't be that high, okay? Like, look at who they have working with the kids, right? But the thing about showing up somewhere new after your old beliefs let you down is that you actually can't turn off the part of you that believes. I really sometimes wish that we could. I think a lot of us really, really wish that we could. Some people do try. You get burned, your block tower falls down, as we are seeing in real time right now with our kids, and you decide, I'm done. I'm actually completely done with this whole project, the business of believing, I'm over it. But unfortunately, you can't opt out. I wish that you could, but it is part of the human condition. Everyone in this room who has ever built a block tower, raise your hand. I bet you did, even if you don't remember it, and that's okay. Kids, I have a question for you. Rowan, I see some maybe frustrated feelings. Can you build a perfect block tower? Can anybody build the perfect block tower? No. Can anybody build a block tower up to space? No. Does that mean that we should stop building block towers? Huh. Sometimes we do have to step away from building towers. Sometimes when we get really frustrated, and I see Rowan actually right now real-time modeling this, where if you're trying and you're trying and you're trying and it just won't stand up, and it falls down, and you get maybe a little frustrated, and you have to step away and take a break, get some snacks, take a nap, talk to some friends and say, I am never touching those freaking blocks ever again. Actually, I'm done with blocks. And your friends have to listen to you and say, yup, for sure. And then you go back to it tomorrow, because the point is not to build the perfect tower, it is to practice the building, right? And here's the thing is, if you sit there in the rubble of the block tower forever, and you decide, I'm not going to build a tower, I'm never going to build a tower ever again, I'm never going to believe, then you lose a lot of your power. Because in the building is where we learn how to make the world a better place. We have to start with believing that there is something better out there, and then we can build, right? If you believe, look at this tower right here that this group together as a group built. And I think we're about to knock it down. There it goes, yeah. Because the point is the building. The point is the joy of it. And that really is the gist of everything else. I do want to revisit the jokes that I make about my identity. I am bisexual and polyamorous and non-binary and Unitarian Universalist, but actually that's not indecision. That is not failing to pick a lane. This is what we do as UUs. We sit and lurk and get all swampy and gross in the gray spaces. We do that on purpose so that we can look at the world and say, here, there might be a path here. There is goodness there. There is goodness there too. There is goodness there too. And we refuse to pick. We say, yes, all of it. So we have theologies. We have beliefs. We have so many theologies, not just one. We have nearly as many theologies as there are people here. And that is, in fact, the point. It is the learning how to search. We don't really have a dogma. A dogma says this is what you have to believe. But we do have theologies that say this is how you can look. This is how you can find the truths, and that is what we celebrate. And that's the end of it. We're going to sing our kids out now and say thank you for building block towers, and thank you for letting me talk about this.
I haven't done anything yet. Oh, it's the slide, yeah. Destin has been sneaking things in on me. Okay. So today's reading is a little unusual. 3 Unitarian Universalists arrive at the pearly gates. Much to their own surprise and that of St. Peter, who upon checking his records realized that these 3 people have fed fully exemplary lives. They aren't Christian, and heaven is only for Christians, and they shouldn't be here in the first place. But in a slow day, St. Peter is in a good mood, so he offers them a deal. I'm going to ask each of you a question, and if you answer correctly, I'll let you into heaven. If you don't, and you get it wrong, to hell with you. They figure this is a good deal as that they're ever likely to get. And so Peter asks the first Unitarian, explain the meaning of Easter. The guy scratches his head and says, isn't that where there's a fat guy in a red suit with reindeer and you get presents and whoosh, St. Peter pushes a big red button and the poor fellow is hurled in the pits of hell. So St. Peter asks the second UU the same question. She looks confused and then says, you've got this bunny hopping around hiding eggs under bushes and whoosh, Peter pushes the button and she's cast down into the place of eternal damnation. The third UU comes up and asks Peter, and Peter asks him the same question. He's prepared for this. However, since he took a comparative religion course in the UU department at his church, and he knows his stuff. Okay, he says, Jesus is arrested in Gethsemane after Judas betrays him. He was hauled off before Pilate and sentenced to death. He was crucified on the Mount of Calvary and buried in a tomb with a rock rolled in front of the door. Peter's relaxing. He's going to get to let someone in today. He's already reaching out for the green button, and if he comes out and sees his shadow, then there's 6 more weeks of winter, and whoosh. Okay, we have the privilege today of receiving a command performance from me. Actually, I asked that the modern Unitarian make a presence and present us with our anthem today.
I am the very model of a modern Unitarian, far broader than a Catholic, Hindu, Jew, or Presbyterian. I know the world's religions and can trace their roots historical, from Moses up to Channing, all in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted to with theories theological. On existential questions, I'm always wholly logical. About most any problem, I am teeming with a lot of views. I'm full of fine ideas that should fill our churches' empty pews. I quote from Freud and Jung and all the expert psychological. I'm anti-nuke, I don't pollute, I'm chastely ecological. In short, it matters spiritual, ethical, material. I am the very model of a modern Unitarian. I use the latest language. God is never Father or the Lord, but ground of being, source of light, or almost any other word. I never pray, I meditate, I'm leery about worshiping. I serve on 10 committees, none of which accomplish anything. I give to worthy causes, and I drive a gas-conserving car. I have good UU principles, although I'm not sure what they are. Jet pig? I'm open to opinions of profound and broad variety, unless they're too conservative or smack of righteous piety. I formulate agendas and discuss them with the best of them, but don't ask me to implement, we leave that to the rest of them. In short, it matters spiritual, ethical, material. I am the very model of today's religious liberal.
Well, I have to say, I almost peed in my pants at that.
He liked it better than the Pirates of Penzance.
All right, you let us get away with it. Okay, each week we invite all who are gathered here to share in the ministry of this church by giving their time, talent, and treasures. This week, members will give their talents for the work of the church. The governing board and fellowship council meet each month to administer and coordinate our efforts. The worship associates, choir, audio and video volunteers, and our music professionals present weekly services. These are examples of a few contributions from our members. And now we invite you to give some of your treasure to the work of this church. But let me first tell you a story. 2 well-worn dollar bills arrived at the Federal Reserve Bank for their retirement, a $20 bill and a $1 bill. As they traveled down the conveyor belt, they struck up a conversation. The $20 bill reminiscence about the interesting life the 20 had, traveling all over the country. I've been to the finest restaurants, Broadway shows, Las Vegas, Atlantic City, the 20 said. I even went on a Caribbean cruise. Where have you been? Oh, the $1 bill said, I've been to a Methodist church, an Episcopal church, a Lutheran church, and the Unitarian Universalist church. Then the $20 bill asked, what's a church? So if you would like to make a financial offering today, the ushers will move through the sanctuary and you can give of your treasures, or you can use the QR code to give online. The offering will now be joyfully given and gratefully received. Will the ushers please come forward? haven't seen some of these myself. Did you put up the flower? Could you put up the flower slide? Oh, I'm looking there, it's here. We are a value-based religion. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. The values we share are inseparable and deeply interconnected. I would like to discuss each of these values with the help of others. Our values are organized by the acronym JET-L-PIG. We'll explain that as we go forward. First, the J in JET-PIG is justice. We work to be a diverse, multicultural, beloved community where all feel welcome and can thrive. We covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression. We support the use of inclusive democratic processes to make decisions within our congregation, our association, and society at large. I would like to invite Mary Barr to come tell.
Good morning. A Unitarian Universalist family moves into a new neighborhood. A little girl finds a new playmate, and they are happily getting to know each other. One day, the playmate says, "We're Episcopalians. What are you?" The UU child thinks for a minute and says, "I'm not sure, but I think we're the League of Women Voters."
So you know what JET is now, or you know what the JET-PIG is beginning to do for us. The E in JET-PIG is equality. Sorry, it's equity. We declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. We covenant to use our time, wisdom, and attention and money to build and sustain more accessible, inclusive communities. I would like to invite Sheila Bishop to tell us more.
On her way to church one Sunday morning, a Unitarian Universalist minister noticed a young child in a parking lot of a nearby Catholic church with a box and a sign that said, "Free kittens from a good Catholic family." She smiled to herself mentally, wished the child good luck, and went on her way. About the middle of the week, she saw the same child with the same box outside the Methodist church, this time with a sign that said, "Good Methodist kittens, absolutely free." Impressed with the child's tenacity, she went on to her board meeting. Finally, the next Sunday, the child was in her church's parking lot with a new sign reading, "Unitarian Universalist kittens, free to a good home." This time she stopped to chat. "Weren't you outside the Catholic church last Sunday?" "Yes." "And on Wednesday, weren't these Methodist kittens?" "They sure were." "Well, how come they're Unitarian Universalist kittens now?" "'Cause today their eyes are open."
Well, let me just interject that if you haven't found the Unitarian Universalist Hysterical Society online, go have a look. I was up till midnight one day. The T in JET-PIG is transformation. We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental in our Unitarian Universalist heritage, never complete and never perfect. I would like to invite Destin Rushing to guide us through a series of questions.
Hi. What is a Unitarian Universalist? You all should know this. an atheist with children. I don't see any children anymore. Why are you youth such bad hymn singers? Sorry. Because they keep changing the words. Why are Unitarian Universalists the worst hymn singers? Because they're always reading ahead to see if they agree with the next line. What does the Ku Klux Klan do when they find out that a Unitarian Universalist family has moved into their neighborhood? No, they burn a question mark on their lawn. And then your children come outside and roast marshmallows. Thank you.
All right. The P in JetPig is for pluralism. We are all sacred beings, diverse in cultural experience and theology. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. I would like to invite Deborah McEdward to tell us more.
In large print, because I didn't bring my glasses. The Starship Uniprise is crossing over the Bible Belt into the fundamentalist zone to respond to a distress call from a lost Unitarian Universalist outpost. Captain Kirk asks Spock, "What can you tell me about these people?" Spock replies, "The ship's computer library has little information, Captain. Logically, however, we may deduce from their name, Unitarian Universalist. Unitarian means one, and Universalist means everything. So clearly, these people want one of everything."
So the I in JetPig is interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence and acknowledge our place in it. We covenant to protect the earth and all the beings from exploitation. We will create and nurture sustainable relationships of care and respect, mutuality and justice. We will work to repair harm and damaged relationships. I would like to invite Sue Boone to come tell us more.
Hi. A little Unitarian Universalist girl was sitting on the curb in front of her house with a sad look on her face. A Buddhist monk happened upon her and asked her why she looked so sad. The girl replied, "My kitty cat just died." The monk said, "The reason for suffering is attachment. Since nothing is permanent, the path to end suffering is through the release of attachment." The little girl looked puzzled and says to the monk, "I just miss my kitty." So the monk moved on down the road. Then an older lady happened upon her and asked her why she looked so sad. The girl replied, "My kitty cat just died." The older woman tried to be helpful and said to the little girl, "I know you're sad, but right now your kitty cat is with Jesus." The girl crinkled her nose for a second and replied, "What would Jesus want with a dead cat?"
Finally, the G in JetPig is for generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependent and mutuality. I would like to ask David Welcome to tell us more.
Well, a lifelong unchurched man suddenly develops a vague urge to get religious and decides to join a church, any church. So he sets out to find one. His first stop is a Roman Catholic church, where he asks what he must do to join. The priest mentions diligent study and the affirmation of the Nicene and the Apostles' Creeds. Then, just to see how much this man knows, ask him where Jesus was born. Pittsburgh, the man answers. "Get out," cries the shocked priest. Next stop is the Southern Baptist, where the seeker is told he would have to learn Bible verses, swear belief in the Nicene and Apostles' Creeds, swear off booze, and be baptized by immersion, not just some sissy sprinkling. The Baptist preacher then asks to see how much this man knows and says, "Where was Jesus born?" Oh, the man's a bit more cautious this time, and he says tentatively, "Philadelphia?" Once bitten, twice shy. "Get out, you heathen," yells the preacher. Well, our perplexed protagonist finally walks into a Unitarian Universalist church, where he is told all he has to do is attend a 1-hour new membership orientation and sign the membership book. "You mean I don't have to renounce anything, swear to anything, or be dunked in anything?" That's right. We have no special tests for membership, no dogma. We support total individual freedom of belief. "Then I'll join, but tell me, where was Jesus born?" The membership chairperson replies, "Why, Bethlehem, of course." The man's face lights up. "I knew it was someplace in Pennsylvania." This story is an example about how the UU faith is being generous and accepting people seeking to belong.
So that is JetPig, our significant core values told in jest to bring some levity into the world.
Please rise in body and spirit as you are willing and able to joyfully sing hymn number 311, Let It Be a Dance, verses 1 and 2. extinguishing the chalice for us today is Judith Kendall. Please say with me, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
At the center, could you put the flower up, please? Could you put the flower up again? You don't have the flower. Oh, never mind. Okay, anyway, if you remember the flower, in the center was love. And so I'd like to say something about love. And this is from Madison James, and the title is The World We Fight For. What does that look like? Love is more than just candy, flowers, dinner dates, and romance. Love is a verb. It's felt through the expression of compassion. Love is a sense of connectedness. Love is feeling seen and heard and cared for. Love is a warm heart that fills full with laughter and comfort, experiencing beautiful moments together. It means that every day we look beyond the hurts and wounds at the possibility on the horizon that we can create. This system can be put into place with help, provide stability, security, safety, and maybe even joy for ourselves and those around us. And so mutual aid becomes an obvious choice. People helping one another as they can with what they can offer our time to others. And while this may at first sound daunting, many studies have shown that people are happier when they have helped others. What skills can you share? What time can you offer? What resources can you provide? What organizations can you support to help those in need? All of these things can help our collective experience, providing a sense of community and support for one another, helping us all feel that we are a part of the solution, that we share a common goal of seeing through tough times to better ones ahead. When we look around and see so many things wrong, it's easy to get discouraged. That should not stop us from doing what's right. Remember the story of the boy throwing beached sea stars back into the ocean? You personally cannot save them all, but the efforts that you make will matter to those that you do help. Keep tossing the sea stars back into the water, and others will join you as they can. Anne Frank famously wrote, "How wonderful it is that no one has to wait, but we can start right now to gradually change the world. The world we want is possible if we work at making it bit by bit. Be the loving village you want to have in the world, and you will see it grow." As the choir reprises Let It Be a Dance, you are welcome to join in dance with or without a partner. Thank you. The service is over. Your service is just begun.